David, great question. This is a specific question on use of the Power Options tools for iron condors. Some of our tools have a limitation of the number of trades that they show to help you isolate it down better. Now, a lot of these tools that we have on Power Options, I'm sorry here, let me get back to the home page. I know I was just on the home page, but I want to see something else here. There we go. Okay. Oh, I took it off. Let's go back to Iron Condor. In our search by symbol tool on many of these strategies, we have predefined criteria that are in the background to help narrow down so you don't see something that's way out of whack, a deep in the money iron condor, where the bear call side is deep in the money, David, or the bull put side is deep in the money. So on the search by symbol tools, you can't adjust the criteria. But if you're looking for a specific position that has a lot of trades, for example, let me take SPX here, and we'll just go out standard expiration 1 week, and I'm going to use less results. What this is probably looking for, David, to narrow down the number of results. And you see 3% returns, 6% returns. There's still a huge amount of returns. Okay? The less results is looking for higher probabilities, which is going to mean what? Lower percentage return. Now, is there a way to adjust the search parameters? I want to see, 91. No, I want to go back to where I was with those 9% returns on SPX for the iron condors. For example, David, the 9% returns with the 80 or 85% probability. And this list, let's be honest, that's too much to go through. I know there's thousands of more spreads here. I could open it up to more results, right? But then again, I might be seeing way too many. It's still these higher probability ones based on the sort, and I'm not seeing any more. 2 ways, David, to better search by symbol for a underlying security that has hundreds of thousands of spreads for the next 3 to 4 weeks. With SPX, we've got the 2-day, the 3-day, the 3-day, the 5-day, the 7-day, all weeklies, 3, 5 to 7 days, 2 weeks out in time. It's insane. There's so many spreads on SPX and SPY. I think there's something insane in just the next 2 months. It's some weird number, like 180,000 credit spreads, bull puts, and bear calls just on SPY. So you can imagine how many iron condors there are as you start mashing them up. Let's use the search tool itself to create a better search for you. I want to see that. Well, I kind of did that already, but I want to see the SPX positions. Let's clear it out. Let's change it to SPY. No, we'll keep SPX. I'm sorry, David. We're going to go 1 week out. We're going to go 5 to 8 days out in time. Target just the September 17th series. What do I want? I want a 5% minimum return, and I want an 80% probability between. Okay. Now, I can create a default iron condor field that show me any iron condor that's 1 week out, minimum 5% return. Okay, minimum also, 0.5% out of the money, let's say for a weekly, in these cases with SPX. 80% probability between. Let me just run that. This is going to be wild. Hey, David, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of positions. Plug, pro choice, 600 total results. Now, I could do something here, David. Let me save this. We're going to call it 1 week Condor template. That's not going to change anything, is it? No. It's going to tell me I have too many results. But now what can I do in the search? Now that I've saved this template of 3 basic criteria, David, that I want, and this is for any search. You want to look for bull puts on Tesla, and you see just too many or ones in the search by symbol that aren't matching your criteria. Go in and bull put search, clear the filters, put in your desired expiration time frame, minimum return, range out of the money, and probability. Then go into fundamentals, David. This is your template. What are my spreads that match this criteria for SPX? That was my template just using options criteria. I have too many. I have 600, so I tweak the criteria. But what are the iron condors I have for next week that have an 80% probability between? I'm sorry, folks. Have minimum 5% return, at least 0.5% of the money for Tesla. Too many. Let's ramp that up. Give me only the 10% returns. Give me 1% out of the money minimum. And I'm not worried too much about that because the probability between is helping me dictate that. Oh, hey, why don't we do this, David? Same margin, on the side of the spreads, and let's do that other thing we did during the discussion for Stefania. Oh, that was stupid. Percent out of the money range, 45 to 55. I missed that. That's why we're seeing so many. But that's all right. So let's just submit this for Tesla again. 46. I can increase the probability up to 85 now, keeping the same return. But let me go back to SPX. Now you've got a template that works for what you want on your basic iron condors, which is just criteria. Then you just have to go in the fundamentals, put in the symbol that you want, 29. That's much better. We're doing good. 29 SPX trades for the next day, September 17th, next week's expiration, 10% return, 1% out of the money. I'm trying to keep it equidistant. That's what that percent out of the money range is doing for me. 45 to 55%, 50% out of the money range. Same margin on both spreads. I don't want a 5-point spread on this side and a 20-point spread on this side. Let's keep it even to keep it simple. That's how my brain works, David. And again, 80, I could increase it to 85. Is there anything with a 10% return? 85% probability. Ooh, there's two. 11.1% to 10.5% for next week on SPX. 4,300, 4,305, 4,585, 4,590. Tricky. Very, very tricky, but it's good. So that's it, David. That's the best way to use it. You can also use the spread chain tool. That's another one of the signature tools. We looked at the long option finder. The spread chain will allow you to look one stock at a time, and you can look at credit spreads, debit spreads, bull put credit versus bull call debit. Just put in your symbol and, hey, I want a certain spread width of 5 points, 1% out of the money, probability, minimum return, and just click on your expiration. It doesn't give you as much information as the search tool does, David, but this is another quick way to use. But if you're comfortable with that Iron Condor screen there, that's the best way to do it. Save your blank template for your Iron Condors, then go into fundamentals and put in the bigger stocks, SPX, NDX, Tesla. And of course, David, if you have a list of just 5 to 7 stocks you trade on a regular basis that you look for these types of Iron Condors, remember, you can always create your own personal stock list. Go into create list, and we would just put in the symbols SPX, TSLA, NDX. Now what you can do is once you save that search, I can just select that to screen against and then save it with that criteria just against SPX, just against Tesla, or just against my 5 stocks. Or if your stocks change from a regular basis, you find something new, keep that template of just your options criteria, save that, our 1-week Condor template, and then go into fundamentals once the search comes up, NDX, SPX, QQQ, SPY, Tesla, nothing on SPX, bummer. Oh, that's why, because I did this, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. I have to resave my template. In any case, David, you got the gist of it, and I'm glad we got to cover that for you in that case. Whew. All right, we covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions actually that came in via email, 3 questions that came in live from James and Gustavo, and the last question from David. This is why we're still here at 6:15 p.m., but that's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the questions whatsoever, and we love to go through them on a consistent basis. It's just going to take a little bit longer from time to time, so we got a good, where am I here? Yeah, hour, 45 minutes. That's fine. I'm sorry, folks. I can't find my screen that I wanted. Okay, there we go. Great. Great. All right. So while you're still paused here, great. All right, now it's time to wrap up. Today's material are my thoughts on your questions designed for educational purposes, increasing investing performance and options knowledge. Any stock or options discussed today should not be taken as direct recommendations or suggestions. I'm not saying Apple is going up to 163 or 155 in 7 days, nor am I saying there's a recommendation that Apple could drop to 135. Or that those 2 weekly SPX Condors that we saw, though they match the criteria that I would use, I'm not entering a Condor maybe necessarily next week on SPX. It's not a trade recommendation. Options involve risk, as we talked a lot about today. May not be suitable for all investors. We saw a lot of tools today. We saw the calendar call search tool, the importance of that debit to strike difference ratio, the importance of the percent out of the money range for the Iron Condors, as well as the percent probability between. We talked about the bull put credit spread screens. We showcased the long option finder in our signature tools. We showcased just now the search, not the search by symbol, but the spread chain tool very briefly. If you like some of the tools you saw today, remember you can take a 14-day free trial at any time. Just go to powerop.com, put in your name and email address. You get access to the search tool and all 14 of our 23 plus strategies that we use. You can create your own, as you just saw, signature tools, backtest tools even, and the portfolio tools that we looked at the beginning for analyzing rollout opportunities and much, much more. No credit card needed, just first name, last name, and email address. After that, the subscription started at only $45 per month for the end-of-day data. The most popular service is the delayed service at $65 per month. We do, of course, offer a real-time service and the full kit and caboodle, which includes real-time, the programmer's interface, the API, as well as full access to the historical tools as well. We talked about the webinars page. You can go to powerop.com/webinars.asp. Many of those webinars are only available to subscribers, the big ones, but of course you could also go to YouTube and search for different ones and the different strategies as well to find various archives. Search by the strategy name, search by the tools, management techniques, any term that you would use there, that's all available for you. As I mentioned, as we always do, sometime this evening and tomorrow, we're going to start cropping through some of these videos. We'll get the first 3 or 4 posted. There might be 7 or 8 segments of this video presentation. So they're going to start leaking out over the weekend, and we'll send you an email when these get posted there to YouTube or the webinars page. If you have any other questions, send us an email at any time to support@powerop.com or support@radioactivetrading.com. Remember, you can call me during market hours too at 302-992-7971. With that, I'll say I apologize to Alice with the amount of pre-emailed questions we had coming in. Normally, I'm not available on the phone from about 3:30 to 4:30, sometimes 3 o'clock to 4:30 to prepare for the webinars. Alice wanted a quick call, but I told her I could handle it over the webinar because Ernie was on a coaching session at 3 and 4. Usually that doesn't happen Fridays. We're doing the webinars here. But anyway, trial members and subscribers, you can schedule a coaching session at any time. That's a 35 to 45-minute phone conversation with myself or Ernie. I'll answer any questions that you have. And of course, just like we do here, but it's more of a one-on-one discussion and phone call, or you can request to do it over GoToWebinar as we do here, if you'd prefer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had an enjoyable presentation. I hope you got some good information. I know we bounced around there a lot, but I tried to keep the order of the 7 or 8 discussions we had in a reasonable order, going from naked puts to management with a stock repair to talking about the short strangle for Robert, which led to Stefania with the iron condor, and the theta discussion, and Alice's question on the calls, which led to James's questions on the delta, and then using the search tool for Gustavo there for those strategies we discussed and why those are important, and which also led us to show David how to use that search tool to just look one stock at a time with criteria to get a better view of what he wants rather than the search by symbol tool. So the flow was pretty good, direction-wise. But I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope everyone stays safe, stay healthy, enjoy your weekend. We'll get these videos put up for you soon, cropped and put up for you. And just let me know if you have any questions at any time. Take care, everyone. Good night. Oh, Jim, thank you as well. You take care also. Have a great weekend, too. Take care, guys.